my name is Mary Esther Malloy, and welcome to the Mindful Cesarean. If you are planning a birth by cesarean or preparing for a VBAC, we have some inspiring birth stories here for you. Please also visit themindfulcesarean.com, where you can download our toolkit for a healthy birth. And now here's Betsy telling her story of finding out her son was breech and her experience of a cesarean birth.
I think they diagnosed Dean's breech really early, at 33 weeks. And he was breech, and then, I started laying upside down every night, getting in the pool, and then again at 35 weeks he was breech, and that was my first issue with the whole breech, you're on this railroad towards a cesarean, was that the doctor gave me this piece of paper and she's like, you can try these things. But which work, And they're like, I don't know. It can't hurt, And everything was on there without any ranking, from aversion to, moxibustion, to acupuncture, and there's just no way to figure out what we could do to try to solve the situation. Anyway, I thought long and hard about whether to go for aversion, and again, my doctor just did not give me any good advice. They were like, you could try it if you want. It has a 50% chance of working. There weren't great resources online, actually, about whether you should do it or whether you should not do it. But anyway, at that point, I had been to Mary Esther's class and had been around enough people who were excited about having natural birth. I really wanted to give it the best possible shot and not give up without doing the version. So we went in for the version at 37 weeks and 1 day, and from the beginning, it was not looking great. I don't think the nurses wanted to do it in the first place because Dean's heart rate was not as stable as they would have liked, but the doctor insisted on doing it, and they really, Kyle said it was like watching people knead bread dough. They were really going into it, and that was more painful for me than the C-section, actually. It was really painful. And there was that moment where they were, everyone in the OR was standing there 5.5 minutes or something before his heart rate recovered. But it did, but they gave up after that. They're like, this baby's not turning. But then we sat in the recovery area for 5 hours. The doctor came in, and she's like, this big smile on her face, what do you guys think about having a baby today? Your choice, you don't have to. You can go home if you want, but I was supposed to leave my shift an hour ago, and I'm worried, but you can do whatever you want to do. I'm like, well, what would we do at that point? We had no other choice, but she made us choose. So we signed the papers for an elective C-section, and then I had also had something to drink, so they were waiting for a certain amount of time to go by before to do the epidural, and then I think there's a gallery of nurses over down the hallway watching Dean's heartbeat because he was taking these dips every 15 minutes. And then always recovering, but I guess while we were waiting, he took a big dip and didn't recover, and everyone came running in and, wheeled us straight down to the OR, and thankfully, this was at NYU, either they had time to prepare or they were set up for gentle cesareans. So they put up the plastic screen, and Kyle was right there. They dropped it right as he was, coming out. Kyle got to see. I couldn't see over the paper. They dropped the paper, and I'm like, I'm on my back. I can only look up 3 inches, But it was all right. And then they did bring him right over for a second. One of the nurses says, he's just a little peanut. He was 5 pounds, 15 ounces. And then they cleaned him up and brought him back to us for a little bit of skin-to-skin time before taking him away again. And, on the whole, I would say the C-section itself was not the traumatic part of the experience. The part was the lead up to that feeling like I didn't have the support from the medical community to make the best decision for me and for Dean.
Thank you for listening to this Mindful Cesarean birth story. For more articles, resources, and to download the toolkit for a healthy birth, please visit themindfulcesarean.com. Again, thank you for watching. I'm Mary Esther Malloy.